joining us for Ladies on Track. I'm glad you're here today. We have a guest with us. This is Betty Ann, and she is one of our writers for Ladies on Track, actually wrote this portion of the Bible study. And our scripture today is found in Exodus 37, verse 6. And it's talking about making the Ark of the Covenant. Verse 6 says, "He also made the mercy seat of pure gold. 2.5 cubits was its length, and 1.5 cubits was its width." So Betty Ann and I have already been talking about this scripture this afternoon, and we just decided we could tell you just go to our website at Calvary SATX
Yes.
and listen to our pastor's message this morning because he covered it all. But it really was like amazing how you went right into our devotion.
It was, and it was more confirmation that this was the one
For you to do.
for me to do.
All right. Well, talk to us about the mercy seat today and what this scripture said to you.
So always you forget that God gave specific dimensions, and so when you think about it, the Ark of the Covenant and then the lid was actually the mercy seat, and I always forget it was the lid. And so it was like 1 cubit is here, so it was 2.5, so it was about yay big.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not really that big. And then 1.5 cubits tall, so it wasn't as tall as.
So 1 cubit is from the elbow to the tip of your finger. So it was, okay.
So and everybody's cubit was a little different.
Right.
But so it's just, and imagine, I always thought of it as this huge thing because it talked about the poles going through and the different men that were younger would carry it. And so I'm just thinking of this massive.
Right.
And it wasn't that massive.
Yeah. So in our devotion today, it talks about the mercy seat had a specific measurement for a specific purpose. Now, what is this purpose that God has called you? How does this speak to your life about mercy seat and the length and the height and the width and all of this? How does this relate to your life and my life?
So I think of, I think it's Jeremiah 29:11. So he has a purpose from birth for us. And he knows the beginning and the future, and he wants us to have a hope. He knows how many hairs are on our head. Mm-hmm. And everybody listening to this, God has given a purpose too. We're all his children, we're all his daughters of God, and so he has given us a purpose. And sometimes having that purpose drive our lives, we forget to go back to him and to seek his face and to seek his will, so that we're in the middle of his purpose.
What does someone do if they feel like that they can't find that purpose? How do they get to that place of finding that purpose in their life that we feel like that God has for us?
So sorry, it's a lot. So sorry.
That's okay.
It's a lot of prayer and fasting because it's to get us where we need to be. And I know I'm called to be a teacher. That's what God has called me to do. But I feel like he's leading me down another path. And so I've been really praying and kind of struggling with it because I want to be in the middle of God's will. And it's growing pains, kind of.
Yeah, oh, definitely.
Because I feel like I need to do this, but I'm comfortable teaching at a public school, doing my job, and I am very good at it. Not to brag, but I am, because that's what God's called me to do.
Right. So for those of you that maybe haven't read Betty Ann's bio on the Meet the Team page, she works with special needs children, and it does take a very special gifting to not only to meet the needs of those children day in and day out, but also to teach them.
Yes, ma'am.
That's a very special calling. So continue.
Sorry. And so I know that I'm called to teach, and I know I'm good at that job, but I feel like I'm being led another way. And so it's taking a lot of prayer and fasting and trusting God to decide if I'm going to, do you really want to take that step of faith? And so you just have to do it. Take that step, and follow God's purpose for your life.
Yeah, and trust his mercy.
Yes.
Lean on his grace.
Definitely.
And know that he's always there with us.
And he'll never leave us nor forsake us.
That's right. No,
So
he won't. And we just have to. I remember my husband telling us one time, it's easy to talk to somebody about faith. It's easy for me to say, you need to have faith for your needs. It's easy for me to say, Betty Ann, you just have faith for God to meet you where you're at, and He's going to take you where you need to go, and His mercy is going to be there for you. But when I have to do that for myself, and I have to, step out in faith on myself, I have to trust God that mercy seat's going to be there.
yes.
His mercy, His grace is never failing. So I don't know where you're at today, my sweet friend, but I thank Betty Ann for sharing her heart today with us. And I just want you to know that God knows where you're at. His mercy seat, it wasn't just for me, wasn't just for my friend Betty Ann, but it's for you too. And I pray you have a blessed day. God bless you. And it's talking about making the Ark of the Covenant. In verse 6 it says, He also made the mercy seat of pure gold. So see, when you can't talk, you just start over and I'll cut that part out, okay?
Sounds good. It's just
Okay.
so it was just